You and the Caped Crusader both are set for the final bow.
Ha! There it is, you nearsighted nitwits. The answer to a hard heart's dream.
You were supposed to understand. I'll make you understand.
I know your every thought. I'm with you from birth, and I'll see you rot. What am I? A reflection.
What's black and blue and dead all over?
Welcome to another show. Today we're going to look at the top 5 actors who played the Riddler in live action. A look at the most iconic portrayals of the Edward Nygma character. The Riddler, one of Batman's most enigmatic and enduring adversaries, has been portrayed by a variety of talented actors across film, television, and animation. Here is a list of the top 5 actors who have brought Edward Nygma or the Riddler to life, celebrated for their unique interpretations and memorable performances.
Because you and your deputized friend are going to watch me walk out of here. Follow me, and I'll show you why. Batman, his life is in your hands.
At number 5, it's John Aston. John Aston filled in for Frank Gorshin during the second season of the 1960s Batman TV series, bringing his own flair to the puzzling villain. Frank Gorshin debuted as the Riddler in the very first episode of Batman in 1966. His manic energy, distinctive laugh, and expressive physicality quickly made the character stand out. Gorshin's Riddler was unpredictable, eccentric, and often teetered on the edge of madness. His performance earned him an Emmy nomination and established the Riddler as a major villain in pop culture. John Aston was the alternate Riddler. He took over the role of the Riddler in the second season when Frank Gorshin was unavailable due to scheduling conflicts. Aston was already famous for playing Gomez Addams on The Addams Family, and his version of the Riddler was notably different. Aston's portrayal was more subdued, cerebral, and less manic than Gorshin's. While some fans appreciated his approach, others missed the wild energy Gorshin brought to the role. His performance style was reserved, cerebral, with a sly sense of humor. The signature traits, he was slightly more formal in attire, subtle delivery, and a clever dialogue. His impact offered a fresh take on the Riddler, though his portrayal was less iconic and featured in fewer episodes. Frank Gorshin's Riddler remains the definitive version for many fans, influencing future actors such as Jim Carrey and Cory Michael Smith. John Aston's Riddler, while less celebrated, is appreciated by fans who enjoy his more intellectual take on the character. Both performances contributed to the Riddler's cultural legacy and enduring popularity of the Batman series. Frank Gorshin and John Aston each brought something unique to the Riddler. Gorshin's manic energy set a benchmark that few could match, while Aston's sly intelligence offered a refreshing contrast. The Riddler's enduring appeal owes much to both actors, and their portrayal continues to be celebrated by Batman fans around the world.
Trick or tweet!
The next actor on our list is Jim Carrey. He famously portrayed the Riddler in the 1995 film Batman Forever, delivering a flamboyant and comedic performance. According to Jim Carrey, he did not get along with Tommy Lee Jones, who told Carrey he hated him. Carrey later surmised that it was because at the time, Carrey's blockbuster Dumb and Dumber from 1994 was released the same week as Jones' passion project Cobb, financially eviscerating it and moving the film's recognition into obscurity. Carrey explained Jones was a little crusty about this because Cobb was his big swing for the fences, further recounting that during shooting, he unintentionally visited Jones in a restaurant and cheerfully approached his table asking, "Hey Tommy, how you doing?" Only for Jones to turn pale and begin visibly shaking, like he had been thinking of me for 24 hours. The blood just drained from his face in such a way that I realized I had become the face of his pain, or something. He started shaking and he got up, like he was in mid-kill me fantasy. He hugged me and said, "I hate you. I really don't like you." And I said, "Gee man, what's the problem?" And I pulled up a chair, which probably wasn't smart, and he said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery." The very next day, they filmed the scene in which Riddler forms an alliance with Two-Face in his lair. Will Shortz, the puzzle master on National Public Radio and editor of the New York Times crossword puzzle, created the Riddler's riddles. Steve Martin was the second choice for the Riddler after Robin Williams. He was offered the role but turned it down, as with the death of his good friend John Candy and his divorce from Victoria Tennant, he was too sad to make any movies. He had previously turned down the role of Alexander Knox in Batman from 1989. Michael Jackson lobbied to play the Riddler, but he was turned down. Matthew Broderick also expressed interest in the role. Director Joel Schumacher cast Jim Carrey because Schumacher and Warner Brothers felt that he was perfect for the part, following the success of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Standing at the edge of uncertainty and peering into the void. Now tell me, how did it feel?
Beautiful.
The next actor on the list is Cory Michael Smith, who played Edward Nygma, the Riddler, in the TV series Gotham.
Everything points to a cop, or someone who worked with the police, had access. You all right, Ed?
Exploring the character's psychological depth and transformation over several seasons. Edward Nygma's ringtone is the musical sequence from the start of the opening credits to the 1966 Batman TV series on that show.
Just thinking. Surely you don't think that Loeb killed Pinckney himself?
No. He had some psychopath do it for him.
Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. I guess I gave you too much credit.
The number 2 actor on our list is Paul Dano, who portrayed a darker, more sinister Riddler in the 2022 film The Batman, earning praise for his intense, chilling interpretation. Matt Reeves stated that his version of the Riddler was partly inspired by the infamous Zodiac Killer, an unidentified serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s. The Zodiac used ciphers in his famous letters to the police, which made Reeves call him a real-life Riddler. In the film, Riddler begins his video saying, "This is the Riddler speaking." And the Zodiac began his letters with, "This is the Zodiac speaking." The Zodiac also murdered his victims while wearing a leather suit and a mask with glasses over his mask, just like the Riddler wears. Due to being so impressed with Paul Dano's performance as the Riddler, DC Comics tapped the actor to write a 6-issue bi-monthly series based on the version of the character called Riddler Year 1 for their DC Black label. The comic covered how Edward Ashton became the Riddler. This was Matt Reeves' 4th film to have a comic book tie-in after Let Me In, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Paul Dano spent extensive time reading up about serial killers in order to play the Riddler. He found the experience so unsettling, he made a point of reading this material in public places, as he couldn't bear to read it at home on his own. Paul Dano dropped out from the role of George Burbank in The Power of the Dog from 2021 to star in this film. The Riddler's musical theme has a similar rhythm and melody to Ave Maria, which is featured throughout the film in conjunction with the Riddler's crimes. The film depicts Riddler as a serial killer, which borrows from Batman Earth 1 Volume 2 and Batman the Telltale series. Keeping with the theme, he is shown with a coffee cup that has the cream in the shape of a question mark, similar to a panel in the comic where the steam from the coffee cup in his hideout dramatically takes such a shape. It has been much discussed that the Riddler in this movie is somewhat different from his standard depiction as a egotistical narcissist who wants to prove himself superior to Batman. Well, that's true for most of this movie. By the end, it's arguably not so much so. Before he reveals that he believes himself and Batman to be brothers in arms, the Riddler comments that people won't forget or ignore him from that point on. Quite an egotistical comment from someone who apparently just wants to expose the corrupt underbelly of Gotham. Then, when Batman rejects him after his breakdown, he spitefully taunts Batman that he won't be able to stop his plan and will be crushed by it if he tries to, only to watch in rage as Batman, while not exactly stopping his plan, nevertheless thwarts his scheme to assassinate the new mayor and make things worse, saves as many people as he can, establishes himself as a hero to the people of Gotham rather than just another crazy vigilante, and overall completely steals the Riddler's thunder. If the Riddler didn't have motivation to prove himself superior to Batman before, he sure does now. This also means that this movie turns out to be an origin story after all. Only it's the Riddler's origin story, not Batman's. Paul Dano suggested wrapping his head in cling wrap for the character of the Riddler, but after 3 or 4 takes of the first scene, he took the wrap off and his face was beet red. According to Matt Reeves, the director asked if he wanted to continue wearing the cling wrap, and Dano was committed to the choice by that time. The line the Riddler says about having ordered pumpkin pie when he's being arrested was inspired by the capture of the Golden State Killer, who said, "I just put a pot roast in the oven," when he was arrested.
This may become my show after all.
Before we look at our number 1 pick, I want to give a special shout out to actor Brett Rickaby, who played Frank Gorshin in Back to the Batcave, The Misadventures of Adam and Bert.
You know, kid, stars of this show should really be the villains. I mean, you got some great ones. Well, like the Riddler, for instance. Oh, that's me.
Rickaby in 1978 won a junior high talent contest doing imitations of Charlie Pride, Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, Elvis, and Donnie and Marie Osmond. In 2007, he was the founder of Oracle Filmworks, a personal production company for actors. Brett appeared on a caller ID commercial for Pac Bell in 1998 called Ex-Boyfriends. He also appeared in a promo for Frasier as a European dance choreographer in 1997 called Interpretive Dance. In 1990, he received NYU's Seidman Award, given to actor with the most professional potential. In 1987, Rickaby won the National Irene Ryan Award at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., representing the best college actor in the nation. He was the co-founder-facilitator of New York's University's West Coast Collective.
Okay, I think we've got this worked out.
And it's a dynamite solution.
Did he just say dynamite?
He didn't mean actual dynamite.
Well, actually, yes, he did. Adam, we need you to move back.
It's payday, boys!
Not today.
Get him!
Hold it, Riddler.
And the number 1 character on our list, who else could it be? Of course, it's Frank Gorshin.
What is it that no man wants to have, yet no man wants to lose? A lawsuit. Correct, boy wonder.
The original live-action Riddler. Gorshin played the character in the 1960s Batman TV series and its 1966 film, giving the role a manic energy and iconic laugh. A then-new costume for the Riddler consisting of a business suit with a green jacket with tiny black question marks all over it, and a derby hat with question mark on the front, was designed because Frank Gorshin disliked wearing the Riddler's original costume, which to him felt skin-tight. This costume was incorporated into the Batman comics decades later in a 3-part comic story titled Dark Knight, Dark City, from Batman number 452 to 454, early 1990. And it became the Riddler's costume from that point on. Frank Gorshin once said in an interview that he developed the Riddler's maniacal, high-pitched laugh at Hollywood parties, where he said that the funniest jokes brought out the laugh. He further stated that he came to realize that it was not so much about how he laughed, but what he was laughing at that created a sense of menace. Adam West claimed that he and Frank Gorshin were once kicked out of an orgy because they stayed in character as Batman and the Riddler. However, Gorshin said that while he and West did sometimes party together, he had no memory of any orgy. Gorshin's Riddler set the tone for future portrayals, which is why he is number 1 on our list.
What is it that is always coming but never arrives?
We give up. What is it that is always coming but never arrives?
Tomorrow.
And that was our show for today. What did you think? Who's your favorite Riddler? Did you agree with our list? Where is your favorite Riddler on this list, and where do you think it should be? Let me know your thoughts on the Riddler in the comments section below. I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell to stay informed. Share this video, as that will help me grow on YouTube as well. Until next time, this is Kevin Gibbons saying live long and prosper. May the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.